Yo, what is up, everybody? Welcome back to the Coaches from the Couch podcast. We're honestly just three friends. We talk sports, we play games, and we do our best to have fun. Now, one thing you may notice about this episode, we're four friends here today. We're four deep here today.
Four.
We have one of our good friends, one of our good buddies here, Zach Forner. He plays college baseball at Transylvania University. How you doing, Zach?
I'm doing good. I was just over in town helping out Carson's parents a little bit and saw your guys' car here, so I figured I'd stop on by and see what's going on.
Absolutely. So, Zach, you are our inaugural guest on Coaches from the Couch
First
podcast.
ever.
First
one. Wow,
First guest.
That's
Yeah.
awesome. Wow.
So,
that's pretty cool.
so we're thrilled to have you in. Honestly, we're just gonna ask you some questions. We'll just spout. We'll just talk shit. We'll just do whatever we want.
Of course,
honestly,
yeah.
I mean, we'll just have fun. So, Jaden, I think I'm gonna let you steer the ship for this. Facilitate how you want.
Yeah, I just want to. I know it's your second year of playing college sports, correct?
Yep.
What would you say is probably the biggest difference from college sports compared to high school sports?
So in college or in high school, I would say from sport to sport, I ended up playing 5 different sports in high school just to try, all that out. And I would say, like in high school, the level of competition on your team itself, there's probably usually only 2 to 3, maybe sometimes more when you play bigger sports like football, but usually only 2 to 3 people who are there pushing you every day to get better. And if you are aspiring to play a college sport, there's probably only 1 or 2 that are even on your team that are kind of have the same goals as you. Mm-hmm. But so the difference between high school and college, like you're saying, when you get in college, the whole roster, where there's 44 kids on my baseball roster in Transylvania.
That's a lot.
Every single kid is there to do the exact same thing every single day, work as hard as they can, and try to beat the other person at the end of the day. So I'd say that's probably the biggest difference, in my opinion. It's kind of just the level of competition, the level of want to actually play that sport.
What division is Transylvania?
They're D3.
So then,
Division 3,
you all don't have anybody on sports scholarship, right?
No.
Awesome. So
No.
it's all an athletic scholarship.
Yep.
Nice. Cool.
Pretty cool.
Yeah, so I want to talk about, so you actually started your first year at Indiana Wesleyan, right?
Yeah. I was,
Your first year was at Indiana Wesleyan, and so then you went to Transylvania. What is the difference in the schools? Is it the same setup, what is the difference?
So pretty much as far as the level of competition goes, there's a little bit of a difference. Indiana was in the NAIA. They participated in the thing called it's like the NCCAA. It's like Christian Division I in sports.
Gotcha.
The level of competition a little bit better there, I would have to say, than Transylvania D3 baseball, at least in the HCAC with Hanover and all them. But as far as the colleges go, Marion, Indiana, where Indiana Wesleyan is, it was kind of a smaller town, a little bit bigger than Madison. It's comparable to maybe if you heard Columbus, Indiana.
Yeah, Columbus.
We've been around that most of our lives. But then going down to Lexington in my second year, Lexington's huge. It's SEC country. You got UK right across the town, 10-minute walk. I mean, my dorm was literally like an 8-minute walk to Rupp Arena. So there's more to do down there. And I was also fortunate, the facilities-wise, Transylvania actually has better facilities than I thought Indiana Wesleyan did. Because we are luckily, Transylvania had a partnership with the Independent Baseball League, Lexington Legends, now formerly known as the Legends, but now they're known as the Counterclocks, which is an independent baseball team.
It's a pretty cool name.
Yeah, it's weird. Yeah. But yeah, we were able to practice every day at their facility, play at that state. I mean, it's like 8,000 person stadium. It's where the state championship used to be held in Kentucky. We're able to. I've hit with some of the minor league players when they're there in the spring and stuff like that. Kind of learn from them.
Right.
So I just think as far as that goes, I mean, they're 2 totally different ends of the spectrum. You got Marion, Indiana. You got a Christian school. It's pretty spread out, pretty big campus. But you go down to Lexington, and the campus is literally sat on a block and a half of land. It's all scrunched there in together, and you got the big city around. So that's what I think some of the differences that I've noticed in the last 2 years. So.
Nice.
What about the other places that you've been? Like, what's your favorite place that you've been able to travel to play at?
I would
did
say,
you guys get to play any exhibition games versus Kentucky? I know it may not.
We there was thing in the works to play Bellarmine last year, but it kind of fell through. It's kind of the same type of thing that happens when D3s try to play D1s all the time is if the D3s end up actually beating the Division 1s, it looks terrible for
Right.
us.
Yeah, just like in any sport. Yeah.
But yeah, Bellarmine was in talks, and I think they were trying to get UK, but UK already had some other options there. But as far as kind of my favorite, to answer Jaden's question, the favorite place, this year I was fortunate enough at the beginning of the season, we went all the way to Baltimore, Maryland. And we got our assistant coach is, I think his grandpa is a really good friend of the governor of Kentucky, and they were able to get us a tour of the White House, a tour of the Capitol building, kind of a tour of downtown.
No, that was your 5th grade field trip.
No, yeah, exactly. It really did bring back memories for sure. So I remember a little bit more this time around. And then also, I mean, we went 2 days early. Got up there, practiced in the morning at some RBI facility, and then we took tours all day, kind of just walked around down there. And then we were fortunate enough we had a tournament to play Thursday, Friday, and Saturday there, and we played at Johns Hopkins University, very good, prestigious university. They ended up, correct me if I'm wrong, you guys might have to fact check that. I think they won the national championship this year. We're in in the top, in the World Series there. But very good competition down there. I think that was one of the coolest trips to go with my whole team. So
yeah, so kind of looking at just our small community here, Madison, Indiana, and just anybody maybe that's either going through the recruiting process or that just aspires to be any sort of athlete. I think everybody at some point aspires to be like a Division I athlete. I still do. Like I still have eligibility left, so I'm still trying to work on that. But what advice would you have for either a prospective high school athlete wanting to play in college, or a college athlete working to move up, to Division II to Division I, or any situation?
Basically, I mean, it sounds kind of cliche, but I mean, hard work beats talent. I think if kids stick to it, day in and day out, I think eventually they're going to be where they want to be. Because I know on my personal end, I mean, I'm 5'9", I wasn't that big of a kid in high school, stuff like that. I didn't have all the opportunities of some of these other kids that they had, but the one thing that just about every coach that I've been coached by is they like about me is the work ethic, the hard work that goes to put in. I think that's gotten me to where I am today, in my opinion, and I don't think I would be here without it. But kind of just giving them a little bit of encouragement to just keep at it, trust the process, because, I mean, you have to fall in love with the process. And you heard Jonathan India the other day talking about his slump in the month of June. He went back to the basics. He trusted himself. He trusted the process. He didn't look at the numbers, and look, he's having a heck of a July so far. He had, I think, already got 3 home runs in the first couple of days. But just, trusting the process and trusting in it, and kind of just going with that. I think that's kind of the biggest thing for kids that aspire to be college athletes, in my opinion.
Yeah, so now I want to touch on, next thing I want to touch on, is there a coach or an athlete that you look up to as a role model? Like through your high school days or through your younger days that you actually looked up? Was it a high schooler? Was it a college athlete?
Is it Joey Votto?
Was it Miguel Cabrera?
Right.
You actually just said a couple of them. Yeah, but Joey Votto, ever since I was young, I mean, he was amazing back when I was first getting into baseball, 13, 14, You want to always pick your favorite players doing the best, and he just happened to be on the Cincinnati Reds, which was right there. So that's why Joey's always got a special place in my heart for that, and he still bangs,
Joey's a cool guy, too.
JDV.
So, and then a little bit of the Detroit Tiger blood kind of got into me from my dad. He's a Detroit Tigers fan. So Miguel Cabrera, he's probably my favorite.
Don't sleep on Matt Forner. Matt Forner's a dog.
Yeah.
He's all right.
Yeah.
He's all right.
That's a college baseball player right there too.
I know. Eastern Michigan.
We're running short on funds. We would have got him in here.
Exactly.
We had to settle for the B team.
Exactly.
Those are some of my favorite. I really like the way Mike Trout plays too. He's hard nosed. Going back to the work ethic. I mean, that man has worked day in and day out to be the best in the game, and he is. But as far as, kind of pointing out some of the people that are important in my life, you always have to start at your parents, right?
Right.
My mom and dad, without them, especially my dad. I mean, my mom on the backside doing all the stuff behind the scenes, but dad...
She's doing the mom stuff.
Right, she's doing everything, getting
Mom
my
life.
Gatorade bottle ready, taking me to practice, remembering my cleats, all that stuff. But Dad is sitting there and just yelling at me day after day, time after time. Get your hands back. You know, throw it like this, do it like this, and I mean it's paid off. I mean,
sure.
I'm able to say that I'm a college baseball athlete. I mean, there's the percentages are pretty low from going to high school to college.
There's not very many people that get to say that.
And it's just tough to do. And I think that without that foundation, because a lot of kids don't have that foundation, I would not have been able to do it, in my opinion. But some other people that I want to point out to is Zach McClellan, who is part of my travel baseball team, and he was kind of the recruiting coordinator when I was in high school. He helped me get up to Indiana Wesleyan and then down to Transy as well. He helped me through the recruiting process, kind of laid out how it was done, what it was like, helped me get on to visits, talk to coaches, stuff like that. So I'll be forever thankful for him. He went to my games. He did video for me, tried to put my name out there for other colleges to see. So him as well, and then also all of my high school coaches, especially I like to point out Joe Jenner. He was the one that talked to Transylvania's baseball coach because I was actually thinking about just quitting baseball at the end of Indiana Wesleyan with my experience. They're not going to knock on it at all. It was a tough experience with breaking my hand and everything. But I was going to go to IU and just finish my degree and stop playing baseball. But we were talking this summer. My dad told me, keep at it, keep practicing, see what something happens. And I ended up started talking to Joe Jenner. He graduated from Transylvania University.
Oh, nice.
He sat down and talked to me when we went to a boneyard one night with my mom and dad, and he talked to me about it. He thought it would be a good fit for me, and thinks that we might pursue it and everything. And kind of a golden egg just fell in my pocket.
Absolutely.
And I loved it. The visit.
Nothing better than a golden egg.
Exactly right. So I loved the visit. They showed me the stadium, the campus. They took us around. At UK's, like I said, it was right there, and there's plenty to do. There's Keeneland, the horse racing, just the rich history of Lexington, Kentucky. I kind of just fell in love with that.
And they actually have a nice baseball facility, right? They play at a...
Yeah, Kentucky Proud Park. It is one of the nice...
Oh, you mean the home of the Lexington Turn Clocks or whatever?
Yeah, the counter clocks.
I almost like we talked about that before.
Yeah, so no, it's great. They actually new people bought it out, and they put in millions of dollars to redo it over the year, and it was awesome by the end of the season.
That's impressive.
So I think they're doing pretty well too. But yeah, so just Lexington, it's just Transylvania, and just all those people that I've kind of mentioned. Just I'm thankful for them, and I'll ever be indebted to them.
Yeah, that's awesome. That's awesome.
I want to know, kind of pivoting a little bit away from the sports. Well, I guess it kind of stays on theme, but what kind of music do you listen to when you're like in the gym, or do you have a batter ditty?
So actually, it used to be a lot of rap, a lot of R&B, and a lot of rock before I got to Lexington. Yeah.
Bodies hit the
Right, yeah, exactly. Some of that stuff. I enjoy working out, so I'm always listening to music, stuff like that, Apple Music, and kind of shout out Matt Ward. I've been on his Apple Music for probably 7 years now.
Oh, wow. Well, now you're
just being free. So hopefully Matt doesn't see this and kick me off, but thank you, Matt.
Yeah.
But no, before then, like a lot of Drake. I'm an Eminem guy, Lil Wayne, stuff like that. I really enjoy, but I probably haven't listened to that stuff in a good 3 to 4 months, and I used to listen to it every now and then. I got to shout out Pitbull too. Pitbull kind of gets me going. Exactly. I get on his essentials every now. But now really it's just straight country because none of my friends down in Lexington.
Morgan Wallen.
Exactly.
Let's go.
Zach Brown band. I was fortunate enough to go to Reds game a couple weeks ago with the Zach Brown band played. It was awesome.
It's so fun.
Chicken fried.
What about Luke Combs?
Yeah, of course. Yeah.
Long neck, ice cold beer never broke my heart.
Yeah, so you guys know.
Hell yeah. So, kind of pivoting off that, you earlier were talking about Joey Votto. I just want to give you a second to talk about the Reds. Aren't they awesome?
Holy cow, they are fun to watch. The first game I went to this year, they actually wore their City Connects.
Oh, yeah.
And they won. I mean,
I got a jersey on the way.
And they
jersey on the way.
Yeah, so it was awesome. I mean, Ellie De La Cruz, you go up and down the road. TJ Fraley, Jake Fraley, I mean, Nick Senzel now that he's back. I mean, all those guys. Spencer Steer, what a story he has been. I mean, a rookie to be doing this. He's leading the team. And then you got your everyday guys, Jonathan India, Tyler Stevenson. You just have to tip your cap to all the Reds and all the hard work that they've done.
Right.
Young roster, and I think there's a lot to be talked about, and a lot of praise for them because they're competing with the best.
For sure.
And
Yeah.
I'm excited.
Yeah, and what's crazy is
I
I want to get your input. Like, what's crazy is like this team is not expected to do anything this year. Like this team was supposed to be a top pick in the draft and high pick in the draft, and their star players are 25, 24, 23, 21, 22.
I mean, heck, probably some of the ages of some of the people on your team. Like, not
no,
even kidding.
yeah, I'm not-
especially with COVID
exactly.
years.
Right, exactly.
And
We had a 25-year-old last year.
so
Even Spencer Steer.
like, and it's just crazy to think. Ellie De La Cruz is 21 years old, 6'5", human unicorn. The dude is a freak, and he's 21 years old. And he goes to the plate like he's 40 years old, like Joey Votto.
Right.
And it's just unbelievable.
It's just fun to watch. And like you guys were just saying, I mean, it's mesmerizing because you don't think they can do this.
Right.
And they go out and they win day after day after day.
Right.
I mean, it's just awesome to see. And I'm grateful that I'm a Cincinnati Reds fan, and hopefully that we'll be winning for a long time, for a lot more years to come.
All right, well, Zach.
I have one more.
You
One
have
more
one
question. This is the last question.
This is going to be so good.
All right,
It's gonna be
so-
such a good question.
So now that we've talked about the before, we've talked about now, I want to know what your future is.
Uh-oh.
So
Okay.
your
All right.
future, do you want to pursue baseball? Like, do you still want to go to the next level? Or do you want to move up to D2, D1 before you end your college career? Do you want to go professional? What do you see yourself in the next 5 years?
So in the next 5 years, if the baseball route, I'm gonna keep playing until somebody tells me that
Till the
I need
wheels
to
fall off.
Yeah,
Yep.
till that happens, or somebody tells me hang up my spikes. Because I already know that, and everybody knows this. You can't play sports forever, especially competitively like this, and get the opportunity to go to college and do all this at the same
Right.
time. So I'm gonna keep trying to play. But some of the options that we've laid out is. I'm going to be getting my degree at the end of next year, so I'll finish college in 3 out of 4 years. So a year early, and thankfully Madison helped with Ivy Tech and all that stuff. But
Shout out.
shout out Ivy Tech Madison. Yeah, they're greatest ever. But
Best Ivy Tech around.
yeah, I'd have to have a pretty good statistical season at the end of this year to go and grad transfer to get my graduate degree and play 2 more years, because I would still have 2 years of eligibility left after next year. So that's an option, and if that comes about, then yes, I'd love to take it if they can offer me a little bit of money. Maybe
Right.
going back into NIIA,
Yeah.
and get a little bit of scholarship money to finish my grad degree there, and also keep playing baseball. But if that doesn't work out, thankfully Dad's been in the sales industry for almost 30 years now at Grody, and he's been talking to a couple of his friends and his colleagues, and I think there's a couple options in the sales departments around, and kind of in the automotive industry. For me, he's kind of been talking to some people here and there, and also his best friend from college. We've been talking a little bit about going into maybe pharmaceutical sales
Yeah.
as well.
Nice. Right on.
Because his best friend from college works for a sub company from Eli Lilly.
Oh,
Nice.
Yeah, and so there's lots of options on the table. There's a lot of time. I mean, I just turned 21.
I'm saying
so,
you redshirt your first year, right?
right. So,
So,
I have,
you still
I
have 3 years of eligibility. So yeah,
left,
so you got plenty of time.
We'll see what happens.
Yeah, exactly.
But no, I'm excited for the future. I'm kind of
Yeah, and then so after this video ends, would you like to say who we have coming on next?
Indeed. So,
After this break.
yeah, absolutely. So after this break, we're going to have our second inaugural guest on the Coaches from the Couch podcast. None other than Barry College graduate, sectional champion, second-year golfer, Luke Almond's going to be joining the podcast, Madison graduate. So please be sure to stay tuned. And Zach, thank you for your time.
Yeah,
Thank you
you.
guys. Appreciate it.
First guy.
Welcome back, folks. Again, Coaches from the Couch podcast. Now, usually in the intro, we say that we talk sports, we play games, and we like to have fun. Another thing we don't do, we don't lie. And here's some truth I just told. Division III golfer, Mr. Luke Almonds here with us. How you doing, Luke?
Doing great. Happy to be here with you boys.
Awesome. Well, we're excited to ask you some questions, and I think Jaden's going to start us off here.
Yeah, we asked Zach the same question, but we kind of want to know, what do you feel is the biggest difference moving from high school sports to college sports?
Specifically, probably in the golf realm.
Yeah. So I would say probably like in high school, like it's pretty individualized.
Yeah.
You know, like there's not a lot of structure. You know, it's be as good as you want to be, play
Right.
as much as you want to play. You know, you have access to whatever your school may have, but it's basically up to you in high school. And then transform, you go to college, you know, there's a bit more of a team structure in the practice side, you know, more drills, more individualized coaching, more like feedback, more numbers, you know. We have a TrackMan simulator at school, so that's pretty sweet to practice on, you know. But the thing with golf is like, it's like during practice, you have to like practice like it's the most important thing.
Oh, yeah.
You know, and then in competition, it's like you just want to be relaxed, like it's no big deal.
Right.
So it's like hard. You have to have two mindsets, like depending on what you're doing, and it can be hard to like flip that switch. But the biggest thing to golf is just be patient. Be patient.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, and then so my thing is like I'm not a big golfer. I'm starting to get into golf, but like what I've noticed in golf is like golf's a big mental game, and
It's
like
huge.
and it's like
huge.
it might be over
90%
half. Yeah,
mental.
so
Really,
it's over
like
half.
it's more like you against yourself than you
Yeah,
against the people.
it's
you play.
self-competition. through and
Exactly.
through.
So it's like
through and through.
how going into a match, like do you just like focus in? Do you find like do you listen to music? How do you find your home spot? How do you find home? Like
I mean,
what is your
it's difficult too. But yeah, I'm a big music guy. Like I like to listen to music on the range in the morning. But the hardest thing, you just can't get down on yourself. You just can't beat yourself up, you know, because like there's never been such thing as a perfect round of golf.
Yeah.
There's never been a perfect round of golf, and so some days are better than others, and it can be so inconsistent from one day to the next, and that's why patience is key.
Alrighty, so my question is, as far as golf courses that you played at, what is the nicest golf course that you've ever played on? Maybe not the most challenging, but the nicest, just pure beauty.
I will
Sunrise
say,
golf course?
well, yeah, Sunrise National,
Yeah.
number one.
shout out?
Shout out.
And then I would have to say another one that comes to the top of my mind right now is a course called the Farm
Yeah.
in northeast part of Georgia. And
Shout out.
Shout out again.
Yeah, that course was. I've been lucky enough to play it one time, and it was pretty incredible. And
Is it like scenery or is it like
scenery?
Scenery?
Yeah, it's a mountain course.
oh wow.
wow.
Yeah, it's a mountain course.
We're talking like Montana here, like
Honestly.
Montana golf course.
I mean,
Yes.
yeah, the Smoky Mountains.
Yeah.
That whole thing. But yeah, no, that course is beautiful.
Yeah, I want to kind of know, it doesn't have to be golf, but out of all the competition you face, maybe in high school or in college, who's the best athlete that you faced?
Ooh, the best athlete that I've faced. There was probably this guy that I played against.
And this can be
Basketball, golf,
anything.
Yeah.
Like it can be college,
Yeah.
high school, anything.
I'll say freshman year of golf. We were in a tournament. I don't remember specifics of it, but it was freshman year, fall semester. It was probably like my second or third tournament of my collegiate career. And I was playing with this guy. He just looked like any old other casual dude, you know. Just
Casual golfer.
just
Was
regular
he?
old dude. And then, I mean, we step on the first tee. You know, he's got a pretty swing, and he just doesn't miss. I think he ends up putting like a 66 or 67 on my head, just like
Yeah.
nonchalant.
Dog.
You know,
He's a
nonchalant,
dog.
Yeah.
Was
Just
he,
walking the
what
same
school do you
thing.
know off the top of your head?
I want to say it was Emory.
Emory.
which
Shout out
is
Emory.
in
Shout out
Alabama.
Emory.
Yeah.
Emory golfer, you're a dog.
Yep. Congrats.
Yeah.
Congrats. So going back to so it's a similar question that we asked to Zach, but I want to know specifically for golf because it's a mental warfare. Baseball
Yeah.
is too, but golf's like
Right.
it's on a different level, right? What would you say to maybe a high school golfer that wants to go to the next level?
Yeah, like I mentioned earlier, like you just got to be patient.
Right.
Like you just gotta go into it similar to baseball. You know, there's slumps. You know, you'll go days, weeks without playing your best golf, but like there's better days ahead.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Absolutely.
Yeah, and then I just want to know, like, as a golfer in college, what's your daily routine? Like, what do you do? What is your day? What is your day as a golfer? Like, yes, I know you have school in there somewhere. It's like, what is your day?
So my day, like,
In season.
In season, so we play in the fall and the spring, so basically in season year round. And I like to get done with my classes in the morning.
Yeah,
So
I'm with you.
I schedule mine, like this past semester I had an 8, 9, 10, and then I was done.
Smart.
And that makes it nice with practice too, because middle of the afternoon, you know, perfect day outside in Georgia, and you're just on the links playing. But as far as practice-wise goes, so usually it's all based off like your class availability. And so like certain people practice together and then other certain people practice together based on schedules.
Yeah.
And so you'll usually meet in the golf house where there's the simulator and the artificial putting green. So you'll do a few drills there, and then you'll go to the course, head to the back range, hit a bucket of balls, work on whatever you may need to. And then there's this putting drill, and it can get difficult. It can get real difficult. Yeah,
Really?
It's called the gauntlet.
What do you do?
Oh, wow, the gauntlet.
Do you putt and then you run a suicide?
Only if you miss the putt.
Yeah.
So, I guess it's actually a short game in all called the gauntlet, and so there's 9 holes.
Yeah.
And you chip from a spot, and then everything's like a par 2, so you gotta get up and down.
Jeez.
And there's a target score depending on like the variables in the course. So like, you know, even or +2 could be the target score. So I mean, you're playing that 9 holes until you finish all 9 holes at that target score. Yeah. So I mean, you know, it can get tricky.
It's the gauntlet. It's
It can-
definitely
yeah.
difficult.
It can get
Gauntlet,
tricky
bro.
for sure.
You ever heard of the gauntlet?
Yeah. No, it's not my favorite. But
Heck no.
makes you better.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Zach said that he grew up watching Miguel Cabrera and Joey Votto. I kind of want
Yeah.
to know, do you watch golf, and is there any kind of pro golfers that you model your game after?
I won't
I mean-
like if you don't say Tiger Woods.
Being a lefty, you gotta say Phil.
Oh,
You
yeah.
know,
You gotta say
And
Tiger, though,
hey,
too.
And you have the
Tiger
same,
is undoubtedly the best
Yeah.
golfer of all time.
And you,
but-
you said you have the same views about Saudi Arabians as Phil, right? Too.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. You go as
Kidding.
player.
All kidding aside. All
Yeah,
kidding
yeah.
aside.
Just a joke.
Yeah, just a joke, guys. Just a joke. So yeah, Phil, that's classic lefty
Yeah,
answer.
Phil, you know.
All right.
Growing up, he was the guy that made a lot of magic happen.
All right, let's take the tie off. Let's take the suit and tie off. Let's talk Louisville.
Let's talk
Let's
Louisville,
talk
baby.
Louisville. All right, I say the name Kenny Payne. What comes to mind, and what are your expectations for the Louisville basketball team this year?
It's tournament or bust for me. You know, I mean, the roster's there. The roster's there. I
It
mean,
is.
we're gonna find out what we can do real quick playing in the Empire Classic,
Right.
Madison Square Garden. Us, IU,
Who's in the Empire Classic?
Texas, and UConn, defending champs. So
IU, Texas, UConn.
yeah,
Madison
late
Square Garden.
November, like we're gonna find out real quick what the card's
Absolutely.
potential is. I mean, I've loved everything I've heard. I've loved everything
Right.
about this offseason.
Right.
I love the roster going into the season. For me, it's tournament or bust, and I'm counting this as Kenny Payne's year 1. Call it what you want.
I
I'm
agree.
calling it year 1.
And we've
We'll
talked-
see what you can make.
We've talked about this on the show, and I'm a huge Kenny Payne believer. Obviously, former Kentucky assistant coach. I'm a huge believer in Kenny Payne, and I kind of agree with you. It's like he did not. That was not his team last year.
No,
that was not. He did one move. He made one good move, and he got Hatfield from Tennessee.
Yeah.
and he's a
And
5-star.
he's returning.
Yeah,
He's
exactly.
returning.
So
He's
I
one
think,
of the 4.
Yeah.
One of
and
the
so I think what he did there, he got that guy. But then after that, this is his first year. So this is his first full
Right.
test. And
Right.
I think this is a huge year for Kenny Payne to see what he is like as a head coach. Because I can tell you right now, that dude can develop some big men.
can.
I mean, he did it time and time again at Kentucky.
Mhm.
And Anthony Davis, Karl Anthony Towns, you name it, Nerlens Noel, Willie Cauley-Stein. He's done it. And hopefully you guys, I know you guys have a lot of good assistant coaches too.
Yeah.
Hopefully they can work with the guard development as well.
Oh, we're hoping.
Yeah, because
After a
the biggest
4-win
problem last year is I'm a Kentucky fan. Biggest problem for Louisville though was guard play. Guard play.
Yeah.
I mean, you guys had 2 guards on your roster.
I mean, yeah.
Right.
Is it even a problem if you don't like? It wasn't even a thing. Like,
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
know, like it
The problem is you didn't have it.
Literally.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it was rough.
We spent 32 games with just full of question marks.
Literally.
I mean,
Exactly.
we would see something new every time we watched the game,
Yeah.
and
Yeah.
it wasn't pretty.
And we took Miami at their house down to the wire.
Yeah.
At their house, but
Yeah.
that's the way it goes. That's
Yeah.
the way it goes.
Yeah, and then so now I'm jumping back. I'm jumping off Louisville. I don't want to talk about Louisville too much. They're my rival. But so I'm jumping back off that. And so in golf, how many coaches do you guys have at Barry?
So there's a men's program and there's a women's program.
Okay.
They're pretty parallel.
Okay.
So there's one head coach that
Title IX.
oversees.
Shout out Title IX.
So there's one head coach that oversees both programs, and
Oh,
then-
really?
That's
That's not
interesting.
Title IX. So
That is interesting.
That is really interesting.
Yeah.
So is that
And-
common? Like, do you know?
It's really school to school based.
Okay.
Like going to tournaments, like you'll see 2 coaches pretty often, but
Huh.
Sometimes you'll only see one?
sometimes you only
Okay.
see one. Yeah.
Okay, so it's
awesome.
common. It's just we have never heard of it.
Yeah,
Okay.
that's so interesting.
But the caveat to that I'll say is he hires a grad assistant
Okay.
Cool.
every year. So yeah.
Is,
So
that
there-
something,
there's
is that something you'd look into when you get older?
being a grad assistant.
Yeah.
Probably not, just because like you got to be academically enrolled,
Yeah.
and I'm graduating a year from now, set with.
And
the-
you don't plan on like getting your master's?
No,
or-
I'm set
Nice.
with the degree I'm getting, so
Nice.
I don't see that as an opportunity for me in the future, but
Hey,
And
you
so-
can't close any doors.
And this brings me to
Yeah.
my last question. I don't know if you guys have any more, but this brings me to my last question. So I've said it to Zach. So we talked about the present, talked about the before. I want to talk about now. What do you see yourself, or the future? Talk about what are you going to be like in 5 years?
What?
What do you see yourself?
What did you just say?
Exactly. I'm spitting. I don't even know what I'm spitting. But where do you see yourself in 5 years?
that's a great question.
Do you
I
want to
know-
pursue golf still?
Like PGA professional or?
I don't see that in my future.
Okay.
I don't see that, but
If it comes to you, would you?
if it comes, I mean,
If it came
I'm
to you.
I'm pretty open at the moment.
Yeah.
Like I'm getting my degree. Like the degree that I'm getting, I could do anything that I believe I'll ever want to do.
Right.
Yeah.
And so I'm just waiting for a year from now to see what kind of opportunities come my way.
That
Sounds
then-
good.
I'm not too picky. I'll take whatever sounds
Yeah,
good.
of course.
Sounds good.
Jay, do you have anything else?
Yeah, that's all.
Awesome. Well, Luke, we appreciate you joining us.
Yeah.
Um,
Appreciate being here.
Absolutely. Second, we saw your first and our second inaugural guest in this episode. So make sure to stick with us. We'll have some more guests as we go. But thank you guys for being here.
Yep. Got one more thing.
What's up?
Go Cards.
Hell yeah.
Oh, L1C4 out.
Alrighty. So we have our good buddies and our college athletes back for today's game. So today's game's an interesting one, and we'll just kind of rapid fire it. Whoever wants to go can go, but it's a specific question. Your last meal on Earth. You die tomorrow. What is your last meal? So that can include a main course, a side, a drink, a dessert, 5-course meal, whatever you want it to be. It can include that. So you're dying tomorrow. Today's your last meal on Earth. What do you want it to be? Whoever wants to go first can feel free to shout first.
I've kind of already had this question.
Oh wow! So
waiting.
you have plans you haven't been
perfect.
telling us about?
He's cheating.
Anyway,
Already cheating.
I'm not gonna die. I'm not gonna die
you're
tomorrow.
loved, dude. You're
Right,
loved.
yeah, no, I'm not gonna die tomorrow.
About to.
But yeah, so I'm gonna go with Skyline Chili 3-way.
Whoa!
I'm gonna have a.
You're gonna die from
I'm-
gastrointestinal
Holy cow.
I'm gonna have a couple conies.
Heck yeah!
And then, if you've guys ever heard of the restaurant called Drake's, it's a nice, like a sports bar
Nice.
restaurant. The buffalo chicken quesadilla there is phenomenal. I'm probably gonna have that after all my Skyline. Then to top it off, I'm gonna have Texas Roadhouse steak filet medallions.
Oh wow!
And for dessert, probably gonna go to the Cheesecake Factory and have a slice of Oreo Dream
Oh,
Extreme
wow.
cheesecake.
He's running up the bill.
And
Zach's actually going last
I'm
meal.
dying tomorrow. So, and probably to drink is
What are you
probably
sipping on?
yeah. I'm gonna
Yo.
sip on some Dr Pepper and Vanilla Crown.
Okay.
Oh,
Okay.
okay. Now we're talking. Now we're
That's
talking.
probably gonna be my last meal before I
Okay.
kick the bike.
Good
Jade,
deal.
you want to go?
Yeah, I'm a little bit of a simple man. I don't like the fancy stuff. I'm kind of a picky eater, so I'm a pizza guy. I want some stuffed crust pizza as my last meal.
Any particular place?
I don't know. Anywhere.
Anywhere?
I've never had a pizza
PJ's?
that I don't like.
You
So
want some Papa John's?
any pizza. Mozzarella sticks probably is my favorite.
Ooh.
Cheese
stuff.
overload.
Nice little appetizer.
Mm-hmm.
Mozzarella
Give
sticks.
me
Yeah.
the
All Zach's gonna be coming out of him. All Jaden's gonna be clogged up.
Yeah.
Doesn't matter. You're dying. So.
Yeah, right.
I gotta have some Doritos in there too.
Oh, Doritos are nice.
I've always liked the Dairy Queen like chocolate chip cookie sundae.
Ooh.
So I want that, and my favorite drink is probably grape soda.
Okay.
Nice.
Great. Okay. It's like cough medicine for me.
Oh yeah.
All right, so this is a difficult question. This is a
Yeah.
difficult
You need some more
question.
time?
No, I'm good. I'm
Okay.
good.
So what's your meal?
So I'm
You're
gonna
dying.
I'm gonna start it off with a spicy chicken sandwich from
Oh my
Chick-fil-A.
god.
Oh
I
wow.
Go!
I
Wow.
mean, you just have to.
Nice little classic pick.
You just
Oh
have
yeah.
to. And then after that, I'm with Jaden. I'm going with a slice of pizza from Bebop's.
Is that your side?
Oh, from Bebop,
From
really?
Bebop's in town. In town. Yeah.
Oh wow.
They have
High praise.
barbecue chicken pizza.
Chicken sandwich
Oh,
with
wow.
a slice of
Yeah.
slice of
Barbecue
pizza.
chicken pizza.
Yeah, it's
That sounds
actually so good. I'd recommend it.
And desserts, drink.
Yeah, dessert. I'm just a brownie guy.
Okay.
Not
Any
really.
Just give me a
like
brownie.
cosmic or like baked?
Chocolate brownie.
Okay.
Yeah, like
Brownies.
baked.
Okay.
Like Mama's homemade
Yeah.
brownies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. Shout out Melissa.
Yeah.
Shout out Mama.
And then I'm sipping on vanilla Coke.
Heck yeah.
Wow.
Vanilla Coke.
Hey, that put it right there, partner.
That's nice.
You want to go?
You can go.
Okay. So I'm gonna start it off with. Go ahead and go. Let's go Texas Roadhouse.
Oh.
Let's go chicken critter meal. Go ahead and give me that chicken critter
You
meal.
can get chicken
What are you,
nuggets
4
from
years
anywhere.
No, you don't even understand. These chicken critters are amazing at Texas
I do
Roadhouse.
understand.
You know you're dying tomorrow, right?
Yeah, right?
Yeah, and give me a nice little thing of barbecue with that thing.
Nice.
And then appetizer, go ahead and give me the Texas Roadhouse rolls.
Oh,
I mean, nice little cinnamon butter.
Solid.
That thing, I mean, they are just outrageous,
Melt
so
your
good. I know.
Make you want to slap your grandma.
Put it right there. And then
Yeah,
my
F your grandma.
dessert.
Punch her.
Dessert. I'm going Oreo Blizzard from
Oh,
Dairy Queen. I
can't
think
be
it's just basic,
So
but I
Oreo
think
Blizzard over an Oreo McFlurry.
easily.
Really?
Easily.
Fascinating.
Don't be a weirdo and say
I'm
you're
not
McFlurry.
being a weirdo.
You're
I like Oreo
going
McFlurry.
there.
Dude.
And
I'm
then
not
my
being
drink as well is vanilla Coke. Can't go wrong with it, and I guess I'm dying tomorrow.
weird. Nice. Nice. Alrighty, so for me, I'm going ribeye. I think me and Zach have more of the expensive taste here at the podcast, but
You're
I'm
dying.
going gigantic ribeye, grilled medium rare. I mean
Oh, wow.
medium rare ribeye. Yep. I'll take a side of Arby's curly fries as a side.
Wow.
Arby's curly fries as a side. My starter, Red Lobster Cheddar Bay biscuits. Oh, we're talking now, baby.
Wow.
Cheddar Bay biscuits. Dessert, give me just a piece of vanilla cheesecake, regular old cheesecake.
From like Walmart?
Yeah, just anywhere.
Weirdo.
Cheesecake from anywhere. Shut up.
Weirdo.
And then
Have to shut his
now
mic
now
off.
here I'm gonna go two drinks. Number one, an ice cold Diet Coke. Ice cold Diet Coke. Number two, an ice cold Modelo with lime.
Oh,
Ice
wow.
cold Modelo with lime gives me shivers just thinking about it.
All
So-
right.
Might
See,
be an
yeah.
alcoholic.
Yeah.
It's not. Well, virgin Modelo with lime.
Yeah.
Virgin Modelo with lime. But yeah, that's me. So me and Zach are definitely gonna run up the bill a little bit.
All right, so at the end of this video, please let us know what meal you would choose. You got Carson, Luke, Zach, Jaden, and Jacob. Please let us
Absolutely.
know.
And with that, we're going to close out this episode of Coaches from the Couch podcast. Again, we want to thank our buddies Luke and Zach for being here. They were great first guests, and we hope to have not only them back, but more guests in the future. So with that being said, final words. Jaden, I'm looking at you first. Final words.
Spread love, make it contagious.
Absolutely.
Sounds good. And then I'm going to be on the beach right about right
Yep.
now.
If you're watching this, me and Carson are both on the beach. We left Jaden behind.
Maybe I'll go to
Yeah.
Milton Beach or something.
Oh yeah, Hanover Beach.
Yeah, that'll be fun.
But yeah, so again, thank you so much to Luke and Zach for coming over and doing the podcast for us in the middle of work for them. As always, please like, please comment, please subscribe to our podcast. Check us out on TikTok, Instagram, anything where there's podcasts, anything where there's clips, we're there. So thank you all so much, and we'll see you next time. Peace.
Peace.